You're in the back of the boat with Caroline, Captain Doobie's boat. You said Applegate's boat was leaving at this point, right?
Yes.
And you're calming her down. What happens next?
We were actually in the front of the boat on the railing off to the left.
Front of the boat, sorry about
Yes.
that. Facing which direction?
The boat was facing east.
Okay. What do you do? What happens?
So as Braden Applegate's boat was pulling away, the captain yells out, "We're going to go too. We don't have enough life jackets for everyone on the board, so if you didn't come with us, you have to get off."
So this is kind of simultaneous. One boat's pulling off, the captain's also about to pull off on your boat.
Correct.
And kicks you and other people off.
Correct.
Okay. What do you do?
At that point, I have Caroline on my lap. We're on the rail, sitting on the rail,
Right.
and she starts getting very irrational. We're like, "What's going on?" She's like, "What do we do? I'm going to jump in the water. We need to find a way home." She starts kind of panicking.
Why do you let her jump in the water?
It was not the smartest thing to do. It was her first time there. She's been drinking out of the sun all day. She didn't know where she was going. She was jumping in the water, but there's boats driving by, and very dangerous.
All right. So did you let her up at first?
No, I kind of was like, "What are you doing? Like, sit back down. It's not smart."
Okay. Did she start getting a little loud and aggressive with you?
Yes, and then I eventually let her go.
Okay. During that time, did you physically try to hurt her or do anything to her?
Never.
All right. Did she eventually start hitting your hands to let her go?
That never happened.
Okay, but she physically is trying to get away?
Yes, if I really needed to hold her, I could have. I let her go. I didn't want to be aggressive.
All right. We heard you went to the gym and stuff like that with your buddies. You do stuff like that, right?
Yes.
You're a lot stronger than she is, right?
Yes.
How much did you weigh during this time period?
I was about 200 pounds.
Okay. All right, so you let her up, right?
Yes.
Are you trying to convince her don't jump in, or what do you do?
I was convinced her, don't jump in for a while, for a couple seconds.
Right.
And she eventually decides to jump in.
Do you push her in?
Never.
Would you do anything like that?
Never.
Okay. When she jumps in, does she have her belongings with her?
I believe she had her cell phone.
Where was your backpack?
It was on the boat still?
Captain Doobie's boat?
Yes.
When she jumps in, Caroline, you thought that was a bad decision?
Very bad.
And other boats were leaving too at the same time?
Yes.
And what do you do?
So I go up to Captain Doobie. I'm like, "Please, can you just make an exception for us? You don't have a ride home." At the same time, I'm saying bye to people I knew. I didn't know what was going on.
Okay.
I guess given that the Captain Doobie mentioned that he found 2 more life jackets actually.
How long does this take to happen? Seconds?
Yeah, this is within a few, 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. So he finds 2 life jackets and what happens?
So you have 30 seconds to go get her.
Okay, what do you do?
So I immediately jump right off and start swimming as fast as I can.
Why? I mean, why would you do that?
I felt like that was the only way home for the day.
Even though it was dangerous?
Yes.
Okay, were you feeling intoxicated?
Yes, very,
How about tired?
very tired, yes.
And did you jump in the water maliciously to do anything to Miss Schwitzsky at all?
No, I just, only goal was to tell her we found 2 more life jackets, we're going home. And at the same time, what she was doing was not safe. She was, her first time there, swimming in the middle of the channel, with strangers' boats, she didn't know what she was doing.
Okay. Well, she swam earlier in the day. What's the difference between earlier and now?
The timing of it and just the intent that she had, trying to find a way home, swimming that direction, just didn't make any sense. It was not safe.
Okay. So you decided to jump in the water together?
Yes.
Did you have any other options to get home at that point?
No, not that I could think of, no.
How do you swim? Are you a good swimmer, bad swimmer, medium? How would you
I
characterize?
swim occasionally.
Decent swimmer?
Yes.
Okay. Not like on a swim team or anything?
No. I
How
don't
about-
practice.
How about Caroline? How does she swim?
Just occasionally too, just whenever we went to the pool.
Well, during this time in the coastal before this happened, or Lake Boca, were you guys swimming okay?
We were actually struggling pretty much all day.
Because of why?
Just with the alcohol and just the sun, the lack of water and food.
Okay. And what time would you estimate that it's at this point when you jump in?
This is probably a little after 5 o'clock.
All right. So you jump in, your intent was what?
To tell her that we were right home.
Okay. Could you call out to her or anything like that?
I was yelling initially when I was on the boat before I jumped in. She couldn't hear me. She was pretty far away.
All right. So you jump in, do you have anything with you?
Nothing.
Where's your belongings? Still
Still on the boat.
And what do you remember happening?
I was just swimming as fast as I can. About halfway through, it was a pretty far swim, maybe like 50 yards.
Okay.
Halfway through, I start panicking. My lower half of my body starts sinking. I see like a black room, and I start panicking. I see stars. I was flowing water, was going in my eyes.
This ever happened to you before?
Never, I never experienced this.
Did you start trying to ask for help or do anything?
I couldn't speak. I didn't know what was going on. I was like in such a panic.
All right. Did you feel like you were going to drown?
I did, yes. Thought I was gonna die.
Were you near any boats at this point?
No, I was in the middle of the water. I felt like I was in just a black room with nothing to like latch onto or to help myself.
Okay.
And I couldn't stay vertical at all.
So what do you do?
I keep swimming. I see Caroline's shoulder sticking out of the water, and I'm trying to get there as I roll. That's what I'm focused on. And by the time I approach her, I grab onto her shoulder just to regain my composure.
Did you grab onto her shoulder to try to drown her?
Never.
Did you ever grab her neck and rock her back and forth like a rag doll?
It never happened, no.
Would you in a million years ever try to hurt this young lady?
I had zero intent to hurt her. I loved her. There was no reason for me to hurt her.
Alright, so what do you remember actually doing? The best you remember, you grab, which shoulder? You don't have any hands? Do you have any hands?
I'm righty, so I stuck my right hand out. I stuck it out as far as I could. I saw the right shoulder sticking out. I saw she was stationary somehow. I didn't know if it was shallow enough or what it was, but the shoulder was the first thing I touched. I regained my composure, and it was just so quick.
Did you ever notice she had a raft there?
I didn't notice it after.
So at the time you didn't see her floating?
I just saw her and her shoulder sticking out.
Okay. Did you see any boats that were closer to you than Caroline?
She was the closest thing to me at the time.
Do you think you were seeing clearly, or was it difficult for you to even
It
see?
was difficult. I had water splashing in my eyes. I was swallowing water. I was going down. It was a very scary time.
Okay. Is there any way you can tell the court how, if you even know how long you had her, your hands on her shoulder pushing her down?
It was super brief, maybe 1 to 2 seconds. I just needed that touch to regain my composure. I felt like I was again in like just a black room with nothing to hold on to, and I was like sinking, and it was very scary.
Did you feel disoriented at the time?
Yes.
Did you see if Caroline went under the water?
I'm not sure.
Do you know if you went under the water?
I'm not sure.
All right. So what's the next thing you remember?
I see the floaty eventually. I grab onto it. I see her getting pulled onto the boat by the people that were yelling at me, and then I eventually swim a little closer
Hold on, it's like, who's yelling at you?
these people on the boat.
The people that testified?
Yes.
What were they yelling, basically?
I couldn't even make it clear. I was still like in such a panic. I couldn't understand, but I eventually hold on to the back of their boat. And I'm trying to say, that's my girlfriend, and I could swim, that's my girlfriend. They're screaming, and eventually I get a hook in my face.
All right. So the first time you got a hook in your face was when you were holding on the back of Mr. Tarabchek's boat?
Yes, when I was trying to explain that's my girlfriend, they wouldn't listen to me. I couldn't get a word out. They just kept yelling over me.
Did you know what they were even yelling about?
I had no clue.
Did you realize what they thought happened? Or you didn't even know that?
I didn't even know what was going on. I was so confused. I was just like, I can't swim, that's my girlfriend.
Didn't make sense to you?
Yeah, I was in shock.
All right. Did it even register to you what they were accusing you of, or not even?
When I got the boat hook, I got threatened at that point, and I didn't even want to talk to them anymore. I thought they were actually going to strike me.
You thought they were going to what?
Strike me with it.
Okay. So you're holding on to the back of the boat. Do you have any idea how long you're holding on to, or is it hard to say?
It's hard to say.
All right. Enough for you to be yelled at, have a boat hook put on you, near you, and
Yes.
you try to plead your case and they won't listen to you?
Correct.
All right. Did you have more of a composure at that point, realizing you were where you were?
Yes, I was able to regain my composure a bit as I was holding on to the boat.
All right. Were you out of this dark box that you described?
Yes.
All right. So there's no way you're getting on this boat?
No.
All right. And did you try to talk to Caroline at all?
Not at that moment. It happened pretty quickly.
Oh.
I was just figuring out the hook being in my face, so
All right. So what'd you do?
I turned around, I turned to my right shoulder, and I see the boat I jumped off of. They actually obviously were leaving, so they were waiting on Caroline and I to get back. So they actually luckily drifted closer to me. So I turned back and I started swimming back to them, and they left me up on their boat.
How did you swim back? Did you have a hard time?
No, I was just treading water. I took my time at that point.
So you weren't swimming full speed like you were trying to get Caroline?
Correct, and it was much closer.
Okay. So you get back to Captain Doobie's boat?
Yes,
That's where your belongings are?
correct.
And that's the guy who said 30 seconds, come on back?
Correct.
All right, what do you do then?
They left me up and they're like, okay, we're going home. Do you want to come with us? I could have left right there. I said, no, I'm not.
Why didn't you go?
I didn't want to leave my girlfriend. I felt that she was the first time there. I didn't want to leave her in a stranger's boat.
These people are accusing you of trying to drown her, right?
I didn't even know that at the moment.
You didn't even realize that they were accusing
No.
you? You just knew they were threatening you?
Yes.
And had your girlfriend on their boat?
Yes.
All right. So you decided not to leave Captain Duke?
Yeah, I told them I can't leave her here, so they decided to drop me off to the sandbar so I could stand.
And about how far is the sandbar?
It's in the middle, so they went maybe about 30 yards, 34 yards
Okay.
inwards.
And you get off the boat by yourself?
Yes, with my backpack.
Could you see Mr. Tarapchak's boat from there?
Yes, it was very far out. It was about, it was west, northwest.
How far from me would you estimate?
Probably 50 yards.
All right. So just to make sure I understand, after you let go of the, what do you hold on to, the transom or platform of the boat, Tarapchak's boat?
Correct, yes.
And how far does you swim to Mr. Captain Doobie's boat?
Maybe about 15 yards.
Okay. You get your stuff. How long are you on the boat? Seconds, minutes?
I'm gonna go for a while because they're like, are you coming with me or not? I said, I'm not with my girlfriend, so they dropped me off to the sandbar.
All right. And was that on the way back to the coastal or the channel? The sandbar?
The sandbar's in the middle.
Oh, okay. So you get in the sandbar, are you standing?
I'm standing, yes.
How long are you there for, just estimate?
I'm there for maybe 10 minutes.
All right. Do you regain your composure even more?
Yes.
Obviously still feeling. Huh?
Yes, I did that.
All right. You're obviously still feeling the effects of drinking all day?
Yes, I definitely felt the effects of alcohol, but I had all my awareness and all my faculties.
What do you think at this point? You have no idea what's going on?
I'm just focused on going back to my girlfriend, Caroline. She's on a stranger's boat again, and I didn't understand what was going on.
So at this point, do you believe while you're on the sandbar that this lady broke up with you?
No, not at all.
All right. And did you have any intention at that point to break up with her?
No.
Were you still having an enjoyable relationship?
Yes.
Okay. So you get your composure, whatever, 10 minutes, whatever it is, what do you do?
I decided to swim back to, I finally spot Alex Tarapchak's boat where Caroline was on, and I decided to swim with my backpack back to that boat.
Let me ask you this, if you know, there's been some testimony that somebody threw Caroline's backpack or bag, whatever it was, with a phone inside of it while she jumped in the water. Did you ever see that?
I did not know.
Do you know if that happened or didn't happen, or you don't know?
I'm not too sure.
Oh, okay. Did you have Caroline's phone when you were on the sandbar in your backpack?
No.
You definitely did not?
Definitely didn't.
Okay. So you decided to swim back to the, I know you didn't know it was Tarapchak's boat, but to their boat?
Yes.
All right. You knew which boat it was, obviously.
Yes.
Was there a lot of boats still there, or was it
It was clearing at the time.
All right. And what do you do with your backpack?
I have it on my back.
How come?
It was easier for me to swim that way. It was also helping me float.
Okay. Do you make it back to the boat where she's on, Caroline?
Yes, I do.
And what happens when you get there?
She's kneeling down as I'm approaching.
Just like we saw in the picture?
Correct. She's holding my hand, saying it's okay. It was a misunderstanding. We're gonna go home.
Are you confused still?
I was confused. I was like, yeah, I'm home. People thought, and I was just very confused. I was like, okay, I'm excited to go home now. Let's figure this out.
Were you crying?
I was upset. I didn't understand what happened, and I felt like I was. They didn't want me on the boat again. I felt like, or I didn't want to attempt to, and I felt like I was just in the water again. She had that same feeling of not being able to hold anything. So
Hold on, let me ask you. My question was, I know you're a college football player, you're a grown man. My question was, were you crying?
Yes, a little bit.
Okay. That's probably embarrassing to talk about, right?
Yes.
So, you guys are trying to figure out what to do?
Yes.
Then what happens?
And then shortly after, I see the FWC boats come up.
Were people on the boat still yelling at you at this point?
No words were said to me besides I was talking with Caroline.
All right. Did you see any FWC boats before you came back
No.
that had the lights on or sirens or anything
No.
like that? All right. How long, if you could tell us, how long was the estimate you were talking to Caroline before the FWC boat pulls up?
About 3 to 5 minutes.
Did you try to get on that boat?
No, I didn't try.
How come?
From what happened prior?
You were scared?
Yes.
Did Caroline look injured to you at all?
Not at all.
Was she choking or coughing up water?
Not at all.
Talking funny?
Not at all.
All right. So the FWC boat pulls up. What happens then?
I'm actually relieved that they're coming. I thought this was our chance to go to shore and they were just drop us off and Caroline was going to come with me. I've actually had this happen prior years when I went to Boca Bash. I was on a paddleboard and I was brought to shore by a police boat, which is what I asked. I thought that's what was happening.
Okay. And it wasn't what was happening.
Correct.
All right. What do you do? What do they have you do?
They bring me on the boat and start questioning me.
All right. And do they read your Miranda warnings like the officer testified to?
Yes.
Did you understand them?
Yes.
And did they have you sign a card? If you remember, a Miranda card.
No.
Oh, okay, but they explained your rights to you.
Yes.
All right. And did they put a life jacket on you?
Yes.
And did they have you sit down?
Yes.
And did you basically talk to the police?
Yes.
Freely or voluntarily?
Yes.
Did you basically tell them what you told us?
Correct.
Well, the officer said something about your leg being injured, they put a bandage. Did that, you remember anything about that, or was it inconsequential?
I definitely had a cut, but I was just from boat hopping through the day.
All right.
Just like getting pulled up on boats.
That had no effect on anything, did it?
No, no.
Okay. A few, roughly a week before this incident, there was Caroline in a car accident.
Yes.
Did she possibly get some injuries on her?
Yes.
Bruises on her arm. Do you remember if they were from the accident?
They were a visitor later that night, a few hours after the accident.
All right. Did you help pay for her car to get fixed?
Objection relevance?
Yes.
And it's obvious you pled not guilty, and that's, you maintain you didn't do anything on purpose, right?
Correct.
And you still maintain that today?
Yes, I did.
Have a moment, Your Honor. Sure.
Good catch.
Thank you. Did you give any interviews or go on YouTube or any TMZ shows for this case?
No.
And you obviously were served a civil lawsuit by Caroline trying to get money from you?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you very much. Any further questions?
Cross-examination?